Okay, so welcome to Kernel Kol Shiva in partnership with Breslov.org and of course Yeshiva Tera Shimon. We work with all these. Shkoyach Rabbi Yehuda, of course. We're recording it here too. Very good. Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. Okay, so we have so many different things in the parsha. It's such a Beha'alotekha because again we're accommodating our chaverim in the diaspora. So Baruch Hashem, and we're going to be learning about Parshat Beha'alotekha, and it's a beautiful parsha. There's a lot of difficult things in the parsha as well, right? We start off, it's so beautiful, Beha'alotekha Saneros, right? And then Rashi's trying to figures out like why is Beha'alotekha right over here, because because we had in Parshas Nasa, we had the whole idea was the karbonis and for the inauguration of the Mishkan. Remember, we had the karbonis, the inauguration of the Mishkan, right? And all the different Nesiim, all the different princes from the tribes brought their designated carbon, their designated sacrifices for the inauguration of the Mishkan. Aharon HaKohen was the one that officiated, and he brought the sacrifices for them. But what happened was, Aaron HaKohen, Shevet Levi, was not included in the karbonis, right? Shevet Levi did not have a designated karbonis the same way all the other shvatim did. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to the Medrash says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to Aaron HaKohen, I'm saving for you the candles. You'll light the candles in the Mishkan, and you're going to be lighting the candles. Your family will keep the candles going in the Beis Hamikdash and L'Netzach Nitzachim. So Aaron, says the Medrash, Aaron said to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but wait a second, Hashem, isn't it true that your light is Molei and Mesavev Kol Almin? Isn't it true that your light fills and surrounds all worlds, Hashem? You're telling me, Hashem, Aaron says, that I'm going to light candles, but Hashem, doesn't your light fill all the worlds and surround all the worlds? So then, what's my light going to do when you have all the light, Hashem? So there's a beautiful little anecdote that we could really help understand what was going on over here. So there's a king, okay, and the king has a friend of his, and his friend is the Ish Kafri. He's the villager, right? You have a villager. The king has a friend that's a villager, and they're very, very close. They're very, very close. And the king had asked that his friend come to the palace. He wanted to see his friend at the palace. So of course, he made his way to the palace, and he was always overwhelmed. He was a very simple person. He was always very overwhelmed when he came to the castle, right, to the palace, and he saw the greatness and the wealth and of the palace. He couldn't imagine. It was unbelievable. So he comes to the king, and the king says to him, I would like, if it's okay with you, I'd like in the next 30 days, I'd like to have dinner with you in your home. Would that be okay? The king asked him, would it be okay if I have dinner with you in your home in the next 30 days? Oh my goodness, he said I'd be delighted. The king wants to come to my house? Of course you can come to my house anytime, of course. So they set the date, and this villager went back home, and he made an assessment of his house. He came into his house, and he looked at it, and he said, Oy, I just came from the palace, and look what my place looks like. Right? Everything was so pristine, everything was so beautiful in the palace. And then he came to his house, and things were a little bit of lower quality. Let's put it like that. And he said, you know what, let me see what I can do. So he went out and he chopped some trees, and he built some furniture, right? He built some furniture, and he built some new table, and then he built in some chairs, and he got some paint, and he painted them nice, the best that he could. And then he said while he was doing that, he'll have to paint the walls also because the house is falling apart, so he painted the walls in his house too, all right? And he went out and he got himself a chicken so he can have some eggs, and he started collecting the eggs, right? And he wanted to do what he could do. And he was so happy. He was so happy. He got candles. He got candles for his house, and he got everything nice. He did it the best that he could. He went out, he got some wild flowers, right? He found some nice flowers and he put them on the table. He set up the house the best way he could possibly do it. So listen to what happened. Now came the 30th day, and as the sun was setting in the day, the royal entourage was making their way down the path towards his house. And they had the royal band, right? The royal band. They were playing the music, right? And they were carrying golden candelabras to light the way as they were going, right? Everything, wow, it was amazing. And the villager looked out his window and he saw this, and he had such a chalishas adas. He felt so low. He felt so low, and he didn't know what to do. So what he did was he closed the shades in his house. He closed all the shades. Right? And he put out the candles, and he sat down behind the door. And they came to the king, and they came to his house, and the royal announcer came and announced that the king is here. But he didn't pay any attention to it. He didn't come out. He didn't open the door. So they announced it again. He didn't come out. The third time, the king says, "I'll go." So the king got out of the carriage, and the king went over to the door, and he knocked on the door, and he said, "This is the king." So the villager couldn't, hey, the king is here. I can't not answer the door for the king. So he opened the door. And the king looked at him, and the king said, "But wait a minute, did you not remember? Did you not remember that we were going to have dinner tonight? I was looking so forward to this. Did you forget?" So he said, no, he didn't. I didn't. No. He said, "The king, look, take a look. See, I made a new table. I made chairs. Look, I put flowers on the table. I painted everything nice. I did the best that I could. And look, I have nice eggs. We have nice eggs to eat. And he got some other nice vegetables and other things. We're going to have I prepared the best meal that I could prepare." So he said, so why didn't you open the door?" He said, "Because I felt like I was no match for you. You're coming, your Highness. You're coming with all your grandeur. Even though you're coming down the road, even when you're traveling with such wealth. And what do I have? So the king said to him, "You don't understand. The whole point is I always have that. I have all that wealth. I have all of that. But I want now to spend time with you. That's what I want to do. I want to spend time with you. That's why I came here. I don't need all of the wealth. I want to spend time with my friend." Says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Tahar and Akayin, "Yes, it's true that my light fills and surrounds all worlds. But I want to use your light," Hashem says, Tahar. "I want to use your light to ignite my light. I want to use your light to ignite my light." That's what Hashem said. So beautiful. So beautiful. And we have the mitzvah of candles, the Shabbos candles, right? It continues now every week, right? We have the Ner Chanukah, right? It's so special. All connected to the same idea. HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves when we light our candles, loves when we light the candles. Right? And then we had the whole problem with the Messianim, these guys that were complaining, right? They had their taiva, they wanted their things, it were better. We had the nice cucumbers, and we had nice fish, and we had nice stuff in Mitzrayim, and we came out here, and they wanted all right. Nebuch. Okay, And then something really something amazing happened that we can't never really understand, where Miriam and Aaron, they went and they really, Miriam was speaking lashon hara, against Moshe Rabbeinu, right? Because she said, what did she say? She said, you married the Isha Kushis, right? This she was a black lady, right, from Miriam, right? And Rashi says that if you look over there, Rashi says that it's a lashon of beauty. It's a lashon of it's an expression of beauty, because it was something exotic, something of beauty. Okay, all right, but yet she still complained. Why did Moshe Rabbeinu leave Tzipora, his wife? Why did Moshe Rabbeinu leave Tzipora, his wife, where she's such a wonderful person, right? So then when Moshe Rabbeinu davens, so we know she got the tzaras, right? She got the tzaras, she got the we translate the disease as leprosy, but it's not really leprosy. It's something, the best way we can understand it is like leprosy, but it's really something of a spiritual problem, all right? And she had to go mechutz lamachane, okay? And Moshe Rabbeinu was davening to HaKadosh Baruch Hu to help her. Moshe Rabbeinu was davening to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? In this time, HaKadosh Baruch Hu were revealed that Moshe Rabbeinu was my trustworthy Moshe Rabbeinu, right? There's HaKadosh Baruch Hu revealed in his Anav Mikol Adam. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says in the parsha, right? These most beautiful words. But Moshe Rabbeinu davens, it's a piece in Likutei Maran, he davens kel na refa na la. He davens in a very strange way. He doesn't mention her name. You ever realize that? Rabbi Yehuda, you ever think of that? He didn't mention her name. He's davening for his sister, right? He's davening for his sister, but he doesn't mention her name. Very interesting, right? I mean, we know when we daven for somebody, we use their name, right? We say their name. But why was he not using the name? So let's see what the Rebbe says over here. The L'chayra, Temua Me'oid, Kefil Tevis No. Also it says twice. Kel No, Refa No La. Right? 2 times No, please, twice. Ach Moshe Rabbeinu Olav Shalom Bikei Sois Me Hashem Yisbarach. Moshe Rabbeinu requested this from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He asked Hashem, Hashem Yisbarach ba'atzmai kiviyachol yispalel v'yevakesh mei atzmai sheyir pa'oisa. He wanted that HaKadosh Baruch Hu kiviyachol should daven. HaKadosh Baruch Hu should daven to heal his sister. V'ata matuk midvash hatochas hamikra, right? Hazeh. How wonderful, how sweet the words are. Listen to the way we're going to learn this part. We're going to learn this here when it says kel na. Hainu. Shemaish Rabbeinu Olav Shalom Hispalal lefanav Yisbarach v'amalai. Moshe Rabbeinu was davening to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he davens, and he says to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, kel na, please Hashem, ubikesh hispalal ba'atzmecha milfanecha. Daven, please Hashem, you daven, ba'atzmecha, you daven HaKadosh Baruch Hu, rifa na la, to heal her. What does this mean? Hainu. Shemoshe yispalo LaHashem Yisbarach ubikesh oisa Yisbarach shuhu ba'atzmai yispalo v'yivakesh. Moshe Rabbeinu is davening to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please Hashem, let it be your will. You daven, let it be your will that she's healed. Fascinating. Refa no law, heal her. Let's understand this really well. This double lashon twice. The pasuk says kel na refa na la. Why does it say na 2 times? Why the please 2 times? Okay, that's the question. When it comes to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, there's the simple level of mercy, and there's a great level of mercy. He's giving us a mashal. The Rebbe is giving us a mashal. Kishiyesh be'ir shnei ashirim. If you have in a city two wealthy people, you have a city and there's two wealthy people in the city. Echad yesh le ashiris pashut. One, he's a wealthy person, but he's not a fabulously wealthy person. He's a man of means, but he has what he needs and he lives good, but he's not an osher mufluk, okay? Vasheni hu osher godol meyoid u mufluk b'ashiras otzum v'hoyin rav meyoid meyoid. And there's another wealthy person that has billions. He has everything. It's so much so you can't even imagine, you can't fathom the wealth of the second wealthy person. There's one person in the city that needs salvation. He needs some financial help. Right? He needs something. And he needs it's a hefty amount that he needs to be helped with. You know, when sometimes the guy is so wealthy you can't reach him, right? Sometimes you want, some guys they're untouchable. You can't reach them. So he needed help. But the very wealthy one is too well hidden. You can't find him. So what did he do? He found it's impossible to come to him. But this other fella that's a wealthy man, but he had much less means than the Osher Amuflik. Even though this wealthy person wants to help him with all his ability, he can't accept it. He doesn't have the means. He doesn't have the wherewithal. He doesn't have the money to give this man the amount of money that he needs to help him. He asked him much more than he can give him. He doesn't have that kind of money. So therefore, the advice now to this person that needs the Yeshua, he should do this. Go to the smaller, to the not such wealthy person. Because it's easy. It's easy to meet him. You can meet him in shul. You'll see the guy, and you can talk to him, and you'll have him. When you speak to him, he'll have a little compassion. He'll have a little mercy on you. I need a big salvation. And I know you want to help me. You want to help me. But I know you don't have the means to fulfill what I need. I'm asking for you. That your Rahmana should be on me. See, I can't get to this very rich person, but you can. Because you're a wealthy person also, so they'll let you in. They won't let me in, but they'll let you in. And then you'll be able to ask from the very wealthy person to help me. He can give me double, triple, 4 times what I need. It's no big deal. To this wealthy person, the amount of money I need is nothing. I can't come to this person. They won't let me in. Oh, but you can come in. To Rachim Olai Bezen, take mercy on me like that. Levakesh mimenu avuri So when you're in and you meet with the wealthy person, please ask on my behalf. Ask on my behalf that that he should help me, that I should get what I need. And that'll certainly help me. That'll bring me the salvation that I need completely. It's the same way when it comes to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We ask from HaKadosh Baruch Hu rachmim pshutim. We ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu for simple mercy. And that should cause the rachmim eitzel rachmim gedolim. Now we said there's two kinds of rachmim. There's a kind of rachmim that's a simple mercy, and we said there's a great mercy. So it's the concept of the isarusa de le'ela, the isarusa de lasata, the isarusa de le'ela, right? When we do something in this world, right? When we do something in this world, so then, of course, HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends, he reciprocates in the upper world. So basically, we daven like this. We We ask for simple mercy. We ask to awaken that small rachamim that we can ask for, should awaken the big rachamim in Shemayim. And that's how we can get help. So you have to understand this. We daven, and we daven to the Rebbe Shalom in a way like this. Rebbe Shalom, listen, I want to help this person, but I don't have the wherewithal to do it, Hashem. But I come to you, Hashem. You have the means to do anything, Hashem. So, David, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I'm asking you with my rachmim pshutim to turn on your rachmim gedolim. And you should please bring the Yeshua to this person. For this person needs the salvation. That's what it means, the tefillah of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shamar chachmeinu zechreinu levracha. Minayin sh'HaKadosh Baruch Hu mispalo. The Gemara asks, where do we know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu davens? When we come in this world and we're asking for Rachmanis Pshutim that we're connected to, and we're awakening a Rachmim Gedolim, Ki anu ein banu koyach ki im lo'ir Rachmim Pshutim. We don't have the means. The same way in the story, there were two wealthy people. The lower wealthy person didn't have the means to help him, right? He didn't have enough money. We don't have enough schusim. We don't have enough meisin tovim, perhaps, to cause this. But we dive into the Rabbi Shalom to be ma'oyer rachmim shutim, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I'm asking you on my level, please Hashem, have compassion. Have compassion. She'ein bechinas rachmim stam the zer anpin. This is the rachmim of the stam of the zer anpin. The zer anpin are the lower seven midos. Chesed, Gevurah, Teres, Netzach, Hod, Yisoid, and Malchus. That's the zer anpin. That's down here. I'm asking you for this. I'm not asking you for the higher ones, for the Chochma Bina Das. HaKadosh, but I'm asking for what I can. Aval elu arachmim yesh lahem gvul. But for these rachmanis, there's a gvul, there's a limit. But maybe because if I'm only going to have the rachmim pshutim, so then that's going to be impossible to help me. We daven in a way of stam. We don't mention the name. We daven in a way of stam. What did Moshe Rabbeinu do? Refer no law. Help her. He doesn't mention the name. He davens in a way of stam. He just says law. He says to her, stam. Shonu ma'orim b'tfilaseinu eitzel Hashem yisbo she'elu arachmim ba'atzma. Yispalu v'oyer rachmim gedolim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I'm doing my part. Please Hashem, you daven and bring the rachmim gedolim. She'yeh nimshach aleinu b'rachmim rabim misham. And the big mercy should come from that place. We'll certainly have a Yeshua. When we daven in that way, in the way of stam, we say, Hashem, look, you know what I need. You know what I need, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but I know I'm not worthy. But I'm still coming to you, Hashem. Even though I'm not worthy, I'm still coming to you. And I believe you hear, Ki ata shemeya tfilas kol pe amchi yisol b'rachma, like we say in the Shema Nesrei. You hear every tefillah. You hear everything, Hashem. So you're hearing my tefillah. Hashem, please, you daven for me. You daven for the situation that's going on, that we need the salvation. Hashem, you daven for that, and then certainly we'll have the Yeshua the same way in the story that Rabbi Nachman gave us. The person that needed the salvation, he went to the small rich guy, right? The guy that didn't have so much money, and he asked him, listen, you go and ask the big rich guy to help me because he can help me. You understand? You understand? Ernie, you understand what we're saying here?
Yes, right.
It's unbelievable, right? So in other words, he can't reach. So in other words, a person thinks that they can't, but everyone can reach Hashem. That's what we have to understand. We can reach the Rabbeinu Shalom. And we can say to the Rabbeinu Shalom, I know that, listen, I know I can't make no Yeshua, but you can, Hashem. And if we daven in that way, we can certainly see the salvation. This is the tefillah. This is what we understand the tefillah of Hashem is. V'hav and heitiv, understand this. Kihem devarim nifloyim. These are very, very wondrous things. What we're saying over here, these are wondrous things that we're learning over here. These are not stam things that we're learning. We're learning the secrets of how we can mamish be successful, mioid, how we can really be successful. Look, the main answer of everything is found in Torah. Is found now. When you learn Torah and you toil in the Torah, you're trying to understand the situation. You're trying to understand one situation in another one. And you want to come up with a chiddush. L'shem shemayim. You're doing it for with holy intentions. Zeh tshuva gemura. That's a true tshuva. V'oz machzir u'mekashe kol ha'isais ha'vatzerufim shebechelkai. And we can bring everything back. Then it comes back. And that's how we can turn on this Rachmanis with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to turn on the Rachmanis of Hashem. How do we turn on the Rachmanis of Hashem? Turning to Hashem and saying, Hashem, look, I'm learning, I'm davening, I'm doing what I can. But I know, Hashem, it's all in your hands. It's all in your hands, Hashem. And I'm trying my best to understand the Torah that I'm learning. I'm trying my best to daven with as much concentration as I can. But I know it's only upon you, Hashem. You can help me. You can help me. Until HaKadosh Baruch Hu will daven. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will daven, and he'll have the Malachei Ashores. He'll have the Malachei Ashores, HaKadosh Baruch Hu's tefillah, to bring the Yeshua, the refuah, whatever is needed for the person. HaKadosh Baruch Hu uses the Rachmanis Pshutim, the Rachma Pshutim that we turned on. It's a Rachma of HaMerubim V'Hagedolim. He turns on the big Rachmanis. And that is because we try. We show the Rebbeinu Shalom we're trying. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu is so excited, happy when we show the Rebbeinu Shalom that we're trying. That's all Hashem wants from us. He wants us to try. He wants us to try. He wants us to ask Him. He wants us to beg Him. And when we ask Him, beg HaKadosh Baruch Hu is listening. He's listening. But then that's the same way. That's why Moshe Rabbeinu says, Kel na, refa na la. Na 2 times. Na, the first time is the Rachamim Pshutim. That's the one that we're connected to. That's connected to the Zer Anpin. That's the lower Midas. I'm connected to that. I can try that. I can daven to Hashem in that way. And when I show Hashem that I'm trying, and I'm davening to Him, and I know that the salvation is only going to come from Hashem. I know that. The salvation doesn't come from people. It doesn't come from bankers. It doesn't come from doctors. It doesn't come from politicians. It comes from the Rebbeinu Shalom. Only from Hashem. All the salvation comes from Hashem. So when we daven in that way, and we recognize the salvation comes from the Rabbeinu Shalom, HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes the Racham of Pshutim, and he turns on the Rachamim, the Rachamim Hamarubim. He turns on the big Rachmanis HaGedolim. V'aziyah Yeshua Gedolah B'Shleimus Amen. They will have a very big Yeshua. And this is from lesson Kuf Hey 150 in Likutei Moharan. These are most beautiful words to understand how we can daven. In other words, again, Moshe Rabbeinu wasn't mentioning a name. Moshe Rabbeinu said Refa no law in a roundabout way. In a roundabout way, because he knew he didn't want to, he knew that there was a din going on. He knew that there was din. So we learned many times, when you know there's a din going on, you have to know when you're davening. It's in lesson 5 in the Likutei Moharan, how to know if in other words, when we're davening, how do I know if it's before the din or it's after the din? How do I know when I'm davening if there's a din, if there's a judgment already, or there's no judgment? The answer to that is when you try to do your mitzvahs, when you try to do a mitzvah, right, and you're putting on your talis and your tefillin, you're doing it with a simcha. You feel the simcha in the mitzvah. You feel the joy that you're so lucky that you got to put on the talis, that you got to put on the tefillin. You feel so privileged to be able to do this, and you feel a joy in your heart. So then you know that's before the din. You can daven to Hashem however you want, mention names, mention this, do whatever you want. But if you feel that you're trying to have simcha, but it's not working, then you know that there's a din. And that's what Moshe Rabbeinu understood, that there was a din. And that's why Moshe Rabbeinu davened in a roundabout way. He didn't daven. There's a way to daven like the Aleph base, that you daven in a keseder. There's a keseder. Then there's the atbach, where it goes back. You go back. The letters go backwards. Backwards is shaloi keseder. So you know that everything is going keseder when you can do your mitzvahs with a simcha. When you're doing the mitzvah with a simcha, you know everything's keseder. You can daven in that way. When you see chas v'shalom that you're not doing you're trying, but don't have that simcha. You know it's shaloi keseder. Then you have to do what Moshe Rabbeinu did. Kel no refa no law. And again, but the main thing is to constantly daven to Hashem and turn on the Rachamim Pshutim. And then via turning on the Rachamim Pshutim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will reciprocate, of course, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send the Rachamim Gemurim. And we need the Rachmanis from HaKadosh Baruch Hu today more than ever for all Yeshuas and Refuas. So many Yidden are sick and they need Refuas and Yeshuas. So many Yidden need help with Parnasa. So many Yidden need help with their families, with the Mishpachah, with children, who knows what. So this is the secret of how to daven. You daven to the Rabbeinu Shalom in the way of Pshutim. You daven in the way, Hashem, I know I'm doing my part, but I know really the salvation is only going to come from you, Hashem. So please, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, turn on the Rachamim Gemurim, turn on those big Rachamim Gemurim, and when you turn on the big Rachamim Gemurim, then we'll see the Yeshuas and the Refuas that we're longing for. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Any questions or comments?
Well, you don't get the name of the person that you're davening for. I mean, shouldn't you get shouldn't you get the name of the person you're davening for? Yes,
but there's a way to daven, Ernie, when it's a dire situation. So sometimes we learn from Moshe Rabbeinu that we daven into Hashem in a roundabout way. Right, Moshe Rabbeinu didn't say his name. His sister's name was Miriam. Right. There's another Torah that says when he said "Refa no Allah," so those are actually it's the gematria. It's the gematria of Miriam and Yocheved. It's the gematria of Miriam and Yocheved. So really, he mentioned her name, but he mentioned it in a code way. In a code way.
All right.
In a code way, because he didn't want to bring more din on her. You understand? There was already din. There was already judgment on her, right? So he wanted to do it in such a way, so he davened in such a way, so that way that the din, her name would be mentioned, but it won't be mentioned outwardly. It will be only hinted to. You understand? But the main thing,
I assume Hashem would know it anyway.
Of course. Ernie, the main thing is to know. If we take from this lesson is that we always daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we know that maybe I'm not worthy for my tefillah to bring this Yeshua. I know that. But Hashem, I'm asking you, and you can do anything, Hashem. I believe you can do anything, Hashem. And because I'm asking you, Hashem, and I'm taking my time, and I'm putting my honest words in, and I'm trying my best, Hashem, please, you turn on your rachamim. Because this is all I can do. I'm doing what I can do. But Hashem, please, you take over. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please, let me see the big refuahs, Yeshuas, nechamas that we're all longing for, because I'm asking you, Hashem, and I'm trying my best. And I believe that Hashem, that my rachamim pshutim can turn on the rachamim gemurim. Okay?
All right.
Shkoyach, everybody. Okay.